This is a 3-minute message brought to you by Redemption Church, Delray Beach. Well, Nehemiah 11 describes leaders in Jerusalem leading well. You see, they went to the city to help organize it, restore it, and build the culture and restore a nation. And this would have been hard work, because although Nehemiah built the wall and there was now protection, the city had been in shambles and been in a big mess for many years. And so the leaders, rather than telling all the people to do this hard work, were doing it themselves, and they were living out the vision, living out leadership by example. And this is just a beautiful thing to see, this kind of leadership. Because in our world, we see so many leaders abuse their authority, and they use leadership to just basically benefit themselves. Executives say, well, how many people work for me? But Jesus tells his people, his leaders, how many people do you serve? See, Jesus has this servant leadership that he tells us to walk in, and how he led. Jesus in John chapter 13 even served his disciples by washing their feet. And although he was the leader, he blessed the disciples and loved the disciples. And he tells us as his people to do the same thing. See, we have to get in our minds that God set up leadership, and that is a good thing. Well, so many people want to rebel against leadership because it's abused and it's done wrong, but the Bible actually says God set up leadership and it's for our good. Romans chapter 12 says it's a gift from God. And Romans chapter 13 goes on and says that leadership, that organization is actually ordained through God. He set this whole thing up. 1 Timothy chapter 3, Paul told Timothy that anyone desires to be a leader of the church desires a good thing. But see, he has to lead like Jesus led, to bless other people. Jesus never used his authority to abuse people, but rather he used his authority and his power, being fully meek, to bless people. And see, this is why we have to have leaders that have the character of Jesus. In 1 Timothy chapter 3, Paul would tell Timothy and go on and say, you have to have good, strong character like Jesus. Because you know what? We're to serve and lead like Jesus. There's requirements. And so when leaders lead like Jesus, it's a beautiful thing. And God gets the glory. And that's exactly what the leaders of Jerusalem were doing. They were serving the people in a godly way. And this helped not only bless the people, but bless the entire nation.